4-man mosh pit followed by a tomb. Oh no!
Oh, here's Light Bomb coming in on the Genji, and that's a 5-man Light Bomb. They're going to follow up, and they're going to get 1, 2, 3 kills.
And it's going to be everybody dying. Oh my god, when does this happen? Everybody's dead!
Right, welcome back to yet another Division C game. This time we are going to C West. It definitely says C West here. It didn't say C East just before. Absolutely not. Don't look into that. And this time we have Bork, Side of a Moon, facing off against Clouded Minds. So, Clouded Minds had banned out Dragonshire and Towers of Doom. Meanwhile, Bork, Side of a Moon banned out Braxis Holder and Cursed Hollow. And that leads us to... Wait, what? I've clicked the wrong thing here. And that leads us to Battlefield of Eternity, because apparently I can't read. So I don't know who first picks, who map picks. That's something I don't look into ahead of a game, just because I do like to keep it a surprise, more or less. It's a bit hard sometimes when it is a little bit bugged, and I do need to get some downloads happening. But it should still be more of a surprise to see how the series goes. So, as we can hear, prepare ourselves for battle. Let's jump on over into the game. I've just gone back to my starting screen. Amazing. Let's just hard cut that back, and let's go in-game now. So, on the left-hand side of Bork Side of the Moon, we have Yatre. Well, I don't actually know how to say his name. Yatre on the Hogger. Ikari on... Oh god, what is that character's name? Chromie. Silver Spy is on the Stukov. Matlock is on Varian, like we taught, and Bacon is on Lunara. Meanwhile, on the other hand side, we have Kian on the Imperius, Star Knight on Joanna, Peach on the... I'm just forgetting character names. Lucio, Ruffian is on Li Ming, and Trelania... Trelania? I feel like I'm adding a Trelana. That sounds more like it, is on the Zul'jin, just throwing X's out. And we can see Star Knight is going to be the first one to kind of go in and start trading abilities. Keep in mind that until Varian hits level 4, he is not a real boy. He's not a real man, he's just a boy up till then. He doesn't have his big sword. I do not care. Hector, I am not saying that. If you're right, so be it, but Star Knight can tell me that Stark Knight can Stark Knight does not sound as... It does sound right, actually. Shit. It probably is Stark Knight. I've talked to him. I should know this. Anyway, we do have a little scuff coming out ahead. It's going to be even for a long time. We do see Bacon is getting the top siege camp, so a good start there by Bork. Meanwhile, we do have Chromie is stacking Deep Breathing, and as always with Zul'jin, there is his baseline. You want Axe? As... Well, it is Zul'jin, and he likes giving out Axe. He's just a good old deodorant salesman, just giving out Axe to everyone. And then we see that Matlock is going to take a decent amount of damage coming up as Ruffian is going to start getting poke on him. And actually we see that his percent damage build from Imperius, not the most often seen one. You do see a lot of Spear build from Imperius, because the Spear reset can actually do a lot. Especially in the resets, and actually we see Hogger goes down. Never mind. Percent damage good on Imperius, it turns out. But however, he does need to clear a camp, and Imperius's wave clear is what I like to call garbage. He is not good at it. He gets better at his level 7 when he picks up his kind of swipe auto attack talent on when he uses E or when he uses the activatable. However, until then, not great. Meanwhile, swing about not great. Matlock doesn't quite have taunt yet, so can't hold Star Knight in place for Chromie just to hit. We do see also Subdue is picked up by Joanna. That level 4 is such a common one, even if you don't give a quest off. And there is taunt from the Varian, which I'm not too surprised. It's really your only tank option. Sometimes I do like seeing, like, you start Blaze, and then you can go, oh, maybe it's going to be Smash, and tank Blaze, but no, often you see like Taunt and Offlane Blaze. But Immortals are spawning in a few seconds. Matlock is going in on Zul'jin. Zul'jin taking a lot of damage, and actually there'll be Zul'jin going down. Lucio barely holding on as well. Star Knight in danger, but not as much as Peach was. It's Peach down to sub 200 health. And Zul'jin just dead. And we see Chromie is going that full W build as she is picking up that Mobius loop at level 5. Right, let's have a look. Oh wow, look! I don't know if they're still here, but we do see Nature's Culling on Lunara. Meanwhile, we do see that Stark Knight takes a decent amount of damage. Whatever it is, I'm too lost now. Matlock taking a decent amount of damage in process. Trelania doing their best to stack. They are Recklessness, so can get up there quite quick if they're not receiving too much healing. Peaches being a very aggressive frog, getting onto Matlock, and we do see Silver Spy is being chased down. Meanwhile, I should mention that Bork Side of the Moon is actually ahead in terms of race, as the Immortal for Cloud of Mines is already at half health. And they don't have quite as good a race as Bork Side of the Moon yet, but Cloud of Mines can definitely come back in this one. And Immortal lands on the other, and that will be the first Immortal of the game, going over to the side of Bork Side of the Moon. And I'm going to have a quick drink of water, so just don't mind me as I mute myself. Actually see Taunt coming out, we see a lot of damage coming out into Joanna. Joanna has to pop Iron Skin to survive, and they're ultimately fine. Right, I've had my water and I'm ready to go. And there we see that swipe from Imperius, but we'll talk about that in a bit, as we're still in defense of the Immortal. I nearly called it Punisher, because apparently all I have on my mind is Infernal Shrines, and I pray that Infernal Shrines does not pick this time. And if these teams manage to get through a series without picking Infernal Shrines, I'll definitely cast them again. I am actually ready to put a bounty in general chat saying, hey, if there's no Infernal Shrines, tell me. Silver Spy actually gets hit by Spear, but we do see the burst going off, meaning they are going to give a little bit extra. Star Knight getting relatively low, 40 health, barely holds on. However, that will be the aggressive frog, Peach, going down in return, and that is a 1-for-1. But it does mean that Bork Side, Cloud of Mines of the, I nearly call them Cloud Sides of the Moon, but that's not quite right. But Bork Side of the Moon does have that fort advantage, and because Lucio died, you can't see any major push coming out from Cloud of Mines this time. I can't help with that. Sorry, just getting messages from a few people. I'm just like, right, and we do. Sorry, why is everyone messaging me now? Sorry about this. And right, we do see that Matlock goes in, does get taunt off on Joe, and just because of a silence that went directly under them, no Iron Skin. And that's essentially what Bork Side of the Moon's comp is going to come down to. It's going to come down to taunt, and if Silver Spy follows up, there is not a lot that Cloud of Mines may be able to do to get them out of there. Right. Immortals coming up. Kiana and Yatre looking like they're going to have a little bit of fight. However, Bacon is coming to join the fray. Kiana's a little bit of danger, but Ruffian is here now to equalize things. Orb finding a decent hit onto them. They do manage to knock them back. However, with them going down, Bacon now is in danger. Nothing to follow up of him, however. As that's something like... Oh, once again we have an orb. Oh. Lucio! Live! This frog is just riveting too hard and going way too aggressive. But we do see heroics are picked up at the same time for both sides, with a slight kill advantage over to the side of Bork Side of the Moon. But we can see Thornwood Vine picked up by Lunara, massive shove. Stukov, Sonic Sands on Chromie was picked up at level 8, just because she does get that early. Shockwave on Hogger, and once again at level 4 it was Taunt. And on the other side we do have Taunt coming out. We have a Spear falling short, Silence going directly under them. Starna able to step forwards, however that will be Kiana in danger. Does have to pop Angelic Armaments. Angelic Armaments going down immediately, however, which is not quite what you want. However, Bork Side of the Moon is without tank, but Star Knight is in danger. We do see High Five coming out onto him. Boot maybe to save him. Nope, that will be actually Star Knight going down as well. Yet another kill going over to the side of Bork Side of the Moon. So Bork Side of the Moon is at least trading each time someone dies, but this time was a 2-for-1, so not ideal if you're the side of Cloud of Mines, but you have two strong quite a few strong late game heroes that's sitting on the map. Like we have Lunara, which is one of the most commonly known late game heroes, especially once Intensifying Toxin comes in. One Zulj and Li Ming get to the late game as well. They're also nightmares. Same for Joe. Level 16 on Joe is a massive power spike for her. Imperious, I'm going to be honest, I don't know if you hold on to this building all that long. I think Hogger just spins at it and it dies. Hog spin, go. Hogger spin, go. That was not the correct way to spin, Hogger. But no, we do have, there's now going to be a fight coming out top. And that Chromie is getting so much damage out of that out of those falling sands. Oh, Dragon's Breath. I think Dragon's Breath is what it's actually called. Yes, Dragon's Breath. And meanwhile, we do have the side of Bork, Side of Moon pushing up on the fort now. Bagon Company take that, and looks like Hoggle will take bottom in a few moments. Ruffian gets poked by a little bit of poison, just a little bit of poison. And it's not going to do too much to them, however. This is kind of going how I thought it would. Just because with Bacon, I was kind of going, oh, maybe the race goes over to the side of Bork, Side of Moon for a while. And it's turning out that race going over to them just because of even... I'm going to call it the wrong thing again. Nature's culling, even in the early game, can do so much. And we can see that they are kind of snowballing the advantage off of it. Meanwhile, we can see now there is a rotation going down bottom. Kian is going to be in danger, but it... 1 health left on the fort. One... I was like, oh, how much health is actually on that? Kian actually spears over the structure, dodges the Thornwood Vine. However, that is Varian found with a Blessed Shield. As Matlock gets relatively low, Massive Shove doesn't quite find the target it needs. But however, either way, Matlock gets to live. That is vital if you're the side of Bork, Side of Moon, because with your tank, you can keep your advantage up. And unfortunately, and they have level 13s now. Cloud of Mines may have found 13s, or at least gone very close if they found Matlock there. But just falling short. Unfortunate, but it does happen sometimes. I actually have no clue what each seed. This is my division. This is C-West. This is the team. This is the division that my team Greek plays in. I have no clue where each of these people are, like, sitting. I think Cloud and Mines are maybe second, third, somewhere up here, and I think Bork, Side of Moon is also up there as well. I can find this out. But we do have a fight coming out first. So we see Trelena is actually relatively low. Unkillable coming out. That Taz Dingo means they're going to get stacks, but they're going to be dead by the end of it. Nearly take out Silver Spine in the process, but that is their main rate. Oh, that's a dead healer. It's just Stukov blew up and acted like he knew nobody. Man. I was going to say, that's the main race of Cloud of Mines down, but meanwhile, Bork, Side of the Moon does still have their Lunara up, so it may still be a interesting one, but it looks like the side of Cloud of Mines are wanting to fight. Good Iron Skin coming out, Star Knight, however, Blessed Shield doesn't quite find its mark, goes directly between Matlock and Bacon, and is just going to be a little bit of a whiff. We can see Matlock is actually taking a decent amount of damage now. Slowing Sands from Kirby coming out. Star Knight taking damage. Nice spear from Kian. Kian, however, is standing directly in those Slowing Sands. We see Angelic Armaments is used, but isn't actually able to find anything just because they are broken that quickly. Which, in all honesty, with Imperious makes sense. He messes up so much in the Diablo universe. Imperious, I like his character. He is like, yes, go in. But man, he is the main reason the Angels keep taking L's. I swear to God. Alright, we're getting another fight coming out. Matlock has stepped up quite early. We can see that's a root coming out, and we see actually the root silence coming out by Stukov directly onto Peach. Peach trying to get back in there. And there's Star Knight going down to the Chromie falling set. Dragon Breath once again. But the thing is, Bork, Side of Moon, they're all actually relatively low on their own. They are having to back out. Kian, however, also relatively low. I think this may become far more even at 16s. 16s who get some major power spikes by Cloud of Mines on Bork, Side of the Moon. Varian is definitely known as an early game tank. He can definitely move into the late game, especially with the spell power bonus he can give. But by no means am I saying it's going to be an easy fight to be in for Bork, Side of the Moon. It definitely feels quite close. Bacon doesn't quite dodge the orb, takes big old ball to the face. Not quite what you want. It's like, have you ever played like football, or I guess soccer, if you're American, and just like been hit in the face with a ball? It's not fun. It's not fun. It hurts. It's not going to break anything, but man, it can break your nose, I guess. But man, it hurts. Source, trust me, got hit in the face with a football. But no, soccer ball, sorry. But no, we do have the Immortal pushing in once again to the side of Cloud of Mines. Bork side of Moon is getting very consistent with these Immortals, and this one has even more shields than the last. I guess they did lose a tank early on, so we weren't able to fight. Meanwhile, once again, they're just back to fronting this, and that is Star Knight holding on. And no, they'll be taken down. They did manage to find the shield just before they went down, but Joe is found once again. Hogger able to get that kill. Peach is helping her team hold on. Kian does nice W through. Matlock is doing what slaps they can. And that is the next keep going down. I don't know how Cloud of Mines come back for this, because it looks like we may be getting an end call from Bork side of the Moon. If they can find another taunt such as that and a silence underneath it, then maybe, but excellent high five from Peach, meaning that Kian gets a little bit longer. However, slowing Sand, stopping them from going anywhere. They spear in, don't find their target. Zul'jin pops Taz Dinger to try and find a kill, but nope, that will be the game. Going over to the side of Bork's side of the Moon. GG's call by both sides. Good first showing Bork side of the Moon. Very kind of dominant first game. But right, let's have a look at the game summary screen. Yeah. So it was a bit one-sided, but it wasn't the most one-sided game we've seen in the world. There's definitely been times where there's definitely BOE maps that can just absolutely snowball. It wasn't the biggest snowball here for against Cloud of Mines, but unfortunately, Bork side of Moon just did have that momentum and did not relinquish it at any point. They just kind of consistently, if one died, there was usually a trade, or even they 2 for 1, and that just meant that they could solidify their advantage and were able to take the series. In terms of healing, Stukov did a little bit more, well, a bit more than the Lucio, so we had about 20k difference there, but there was also very consistent damage coming out from all players by Bork side of Moon, and their blow up was just a little bit too much for a AoE healer such as Lucio to deal with. Things are not very even soaking between Hogger and Perius, and Perius actually ended up with a little bit more, but I guess they were just trying to catch up. And same for actual Siege, and Perius did more Siege than Hogger, which is interesting to see. Hero damage, Li Ming had a lead there, and we've already covered healing. Right, let's have a look at talents, anything that stands out. I love the Stukov build. I know Silence build is really good, but I love this Stukov build in particular, especially 1 and 7. I love the Vigorous Reuptake, and I really like Targeted Excision. It just gives you so much extra healing. Interesting that we're going fast forward with Chromie. If you're W build, you typically see... I can't remember what it's called all of a sudden. Her level 16, her level 14, that you can activate to get 14 spell power, 40% spell power. You typically see that, but I guess there's spell power banner as well from Matlock, which definitely helped with it. But yeah, everything kind of straightforward from what I get forward from. I like the Lucio build as well. I love the 4 and the 13, just push off and heavy casters just doing so much. Sorry, Supersonic into heavy casters doing so much. But let's have a cut it back to the map view screen, and we'll see what we've got coming up next, shall we? As Bork side Moon take back. And again, as I say every series, I just forgot to say at the beginning, I don't know who map picked and who first picked. As well, I just like to keep myself a little bit in the dark about what's happening. Ooh, this one I don't see too much. Sorry, just give me a moment as I'm going to start opening things up, because we have Garden of Terror. Which I like. I like a good Garden of Terror. It's a fun one for me. I like bigger maps in particular, though, so I'm a bit biased towards them. So yeah, let's see how this goes. Let me just swap it on over into the game. So let's start with the side. Let's start with the side of Cloud of Mines this time. We have Kian on the Malfail this time, so we may see another person who causes problems in the Diablo unit. Another angel of the Anguirus Council that causes problems in the Diablo universe. Nice. Then we have Peach and Andal. We have Star Knight on the May, Trelena on the Sylvanas. I'm like making arrow shooting. Sorry, Caps can't. Matlock, come on, man. And Ruffian is back on Li Ming. And on the left-hand side, we have Akari on Junkrat. We have Yatre on Hogger once again. We have Matlock on the Variant, Imagining Taunt. We have Silver Spy on the I'm making arrow gestures again like it's going to help me, but it is, because it's Tyrande, and we have Bacon on the Falstad. Okay. Not first time we've seen Falstad today, but first time we've seen the series. But now let's see where we go with this series, as we're going to have wave clear advantage going slightly over to the side of Cloud & Mines, but they did have all 5 mid, and now we're going to have make a decision where Kian may have been a bit better into Hogger there. I don't know about Lee Ming going to face him, but hey, I do like that someone at least went to cover stock. But let's have a look at Live 1s. We're going to see the classic variant blow up, because we do see Lunar Blaze. Lunar Blaze, you can actually do a lot of damage once it gets stacked, especially if there's going to be a target. Guaranteed standing still that you can follow up stun. Yikes. Otherwise, we have Boomerang Falstad, which I guess makes sense. It's the highest burst damage potential you can get on him. And that's really the only stacks that's happening. Other things to note is on a Power Horse from the Malfowl. On a Power Horse, very good macro-wise. Gives you 150% move speed. We see Trelana doing a little bit of damage to the tower, but I don't know if that was quite work for Black Arrows. Hard to tell. Sorry, give me a moment. I just need to reply to something, because apparently work is not going to leave me alone, even though I have time off currently because of injury. But hey, it is what it is. We do see there's a little bit of slap fight between Star Knight and Matlock. However, Peach is coming up to help now. We do see, actually, Matlock may be in danger here, as we do see Star Knight and Kian doing the best down top of him. Kian dodges, but Matlock gets to live. Meanwhile, we do have now Bruiser and Siege Camp pushing by the side of Bork, side of the moon. Just one Bruiser Camp currently pushing for Cloud & Mines, but I imagine we're going to get, yep. I was going to say, imagine we're going to see the camp being pushed out by Cloud & Mines soon. And actually, it's very good we've left this Bruiser Camp this late, because it will be the opposite side of a siege. And, well, Bork side of the moon will need time fight to deal with it, but I guess Silver Spy is also doing their siege camp. Meanwhile, Akari is getting hit by Kian. Kian is wanting to do their best to slow him down. And Ruffian is maybe not the best into Hogger with this camp, but oh well, it happens. Right, we do see a seed coming up. No one quite on it yet, so we're just going to get... Because really, it's the first seed, you don't need to rush for it. If it's like the third seed someone's about to pick up, you go, oh god, don't let them get it. Or, god, we need to get before they do. But there is no real rush for the first seed, especially if you're the side of Bork, side of the moon. It's such a hard one to push into, just because it is on that defensive side. Oh yeah, by the way, Taunt was picked up. Just because it is on the defensive side. Star Knight, you were taking so much damage, brother. Ruffian, you do not want to get taunted, but yep. The side of Cloud & Mines were able to get that first seed, and that is just the first step they need to take to victory. So, bit better start for Cloud & Mines this time, in all honesty. I hope they don't mind me saying that, but we do see Hogget. I don't know how Li Ming does in the Hogger. In all honesty, this doesn't seem like a very good... It doesn't seem like a favorable matchup for her. Combo doesn't quite find Yatre, but you can't really tell what the Hogger's going to do when they're hiding in a... Or anyone's going to do when they're hiding in a bush. And actually, it looks like we're going to have Li Ming swap for Sylvanas, which, all honesty, probably a bit better of a choice, especially because Sylvanas is get kind of single target damage talent at level 1. But that is the first gate going down. Well, first tower of that bottom gate going down. Oh. Oh, Sylvanas using some second senses there and barely be able to figure, actually, I don't like where I'm going now, and just kind of nopes out. Why do people keep messaging me? Sorry about this, very unprofessional, but I'll move it up to the seat as we do see Bacon's actually relatively low. Actually, that is the poison barely finding them. And Silver Spy uses an activatable lighter balloon to hold, to mean Bacon is going to get healed up. Oh, sorry, Illune's chosen to mean that Bacon get healed up. However, Variant's going to go first down, so Matlock is going to go down here. Yatre is now in an awkward position. Peach just to shoot him a little bit, but doesn't shoot him. That sounds very weird. Does hit him with a light a little bit from his sword, but doesn't really do too much else with it. Ruffian getting that damage out. We do see Falstad flew bottom, just because, again, there's not really too much point in Bork side of Moon being here. They don't have their... Oh. Yeah, I see what's about to happen. Junkrat's about to stall for 10,000 years. He's about to be chased off it, but... Oh, hog it. Oh, Matlock. Oh, nope, nope, they got the scene in the end. we're going to get some fighting coming up. Felstar, meanwhile, is just pushing bottom, and I accidentally did something that made my camera go weird. But right, Bacon's getting chased down. I'm going to zoom back out. Trelena goes back to give us wave. And while Bork Side of Moon has given the pass to objectives, yes, they're actually getting a very good amount of macro pressure out. As you can see, they are actually hitting experience. They do nearly have this bottom fort down already. And now we can see they're doing camps once again. And actually, the side of Cloud of Mind may need to forego this objective if they don't have 10s. Which honestly, as we saw the last series, it sometimes is a bit better just to wait for that next talent tier, especially with Heroics. Heroics can make the game very different. And yep, we can see that Cloud of Mind's gone, alright, you're already there, you have Heroics, let's just take a step back, and we'll see what Bork Side of Moon does. So meanwhile, Bork Side of Moon, this is the first objective beginning of the game, and they have gotten like good macro pressure out so far, but that the Siege Giants are definitely helping equal things out this bottom lane, and you can see the side of Cloud of Minds have already fanned out, and they're doing their best to actually even the soak, and we're almost even experience again. If we have a look at this here, yeah, 26k to 25k, and both jumping up relatively evenly. Hogger gets that bruiser camp for the side of Bork Side of Moon, but then we see the Cloud of Minds get their own one in return, so step for step they're relatively same. Just Bork Side of Moon is slightly ahead just because they did forego those first two seeds. We do see now it's coming out. We actually have a decent fight coming down here. Silver Spy getting relatively low. We do see Starfall coming out. Stun doesn't quite find anyone, and Ruffian's actually able to finish the kill with the gosh, I'm Disintegrate. I'm so sorry, I've been distracted. When people always mess me around this time. I don't know why all of a sudden. But yeah, it does make things a little bit more difficult casting, especially when I do need to answer the text, answer the message. But I at least still try my best to make sure it keeps going. Like, yeah, I know I have a pause button just down here, but I do at least want to make sure everyone's get casted relatively well, and just to kind of keep the flow of things moving. And we do see that is now Plant Terrors coming out for Cloud of Mind, so first objective of the game going over to them. I'm going to quickly touch on Heroics, because I know I haven't yet. We did have Taunt Variant, we have Starfall from Tyrande, Junkrat Riptire, Shockwave Hogger, and Felstar Wingast. And on the other side, we have Disintegrate from Li Ming, which we saw got the kill. Icefall Mei, Last Rites on Malthael, Wailing Arrow Sylvanas, and Light Bomb Anduin. Meanwhile, Star Knight does get a good split. I imagine we were going to see a Light Bomb there, but no, the kill is found. Ruffian and Trelena finding that final kill once Schemers hits in once again, and it's just a little bit too much for a Tyrande to deal with. Right, and now we can see that all the plant tiers are already down, but with that even one plant tier, we can see what? All this gate down, all this gate, most of the fort, and then we can even see that this whole fort mid went down. So what was Cloud of Minds being behind, they're now ahead thanks to that one phase. And they got them ahead of an experience as well, but they did also pick up another 2 quick kills. So while the last map was definitely looking to be in Bork Side of Moon's favor, this one is definitely feeling much more of a wheelhouse of Clouded Minds. And Matlock now is actually put themselves in an awkward position. Star Knight isn't quite able to find the boot back to kind of get them in any sort of combo, but Trelena has been forced in. We know Taunt isn't there. We can see that Varian does get hit with stun, but no, it looks like that the side of Clouded Minds is just going to decide to push the fort. We hear, ladies and gentlemen, starting their engines as Ikari does use Riptide, however, that is going to go down. Star Knight now in danger. Pushes Icefall out. Pull tried to use by the Anduin. However, no, it didn't quite find it as Mei will go down. Decent amount of damage coming out from both sides, but no, it will need to be Cloud of Minds backing out as it was a 5v4, and they lost their Mei due because of that. Right, sorry about that. We do see now that the side of Bork Side of Moon are wanting to push in. And actually we see Hogger going down, and that was a sack of last rights. Good stall coming out by the side of Cloud & Mines. We're able to swing around now. Silver Spy doing their best, but Ruffian does just kind of meander on in. Unfortunately for Root Mip, Star Knight wasn't able to get back on top of anyone with the Li Ming. We do see Gus pushing them out, and that is just kind of another seed taken by the side of Bork's side of the by Cloud & Mines. Right. Camp being called as dangerous by the side of Bork's side of the moon, I imagine. Peach was a little bit lagging behind, but fortunately the side of Cloud & Mines weren't coming through this way, because otherwise that may have been disastrous for the side of Cloud & Mines, because a dead healer can very much kill all momentum. But nope, not quite this time. We actually see double pull pulled up by Anduin, because I guess Anduin does not want his father to taunt someone into oblivion, and pulling someone out of danger, probably the best for that. But thing is, 16's are through for the side of Cloud & Mines. Bork's of the Moon isn't quite there yet, so we will have to... Oh, no, there it is. So we actually may see a contest here, but it looks like they are just going to get bottom 4 instead, and start evening up the structure kind of difference. And we can see now Silver Spy and Yatre going down. Silver Spy is actually going to get relatively low. Doesn't need anything such as last rights. Vera's the last rights for Yatre, however. We see that Taunt comes out. Ruffian, however, now split from the team. Light Bomb not going to be able to find its target. And we can see that is a Riptide hitting 2. Matlock getting relatively low, and Meg is trying to split the enemy team. Kian staying on top of him. They are going to get the reset once more. And the actual kill will finish him off, not even the percent damage. Star Knight holding a good line, meaning that Peach is unable to be interrupted, and that will be them getting the objective. Meanwhile, we can see there is a decent amount of camp pressure pushing bottom, but Malfail has gone back to deal with it. But meanwhile, Cloud & Mines is going to push with their own Bruiser camp and get the Siege camp of the opposition to push here, much like how it's happening bottom, except Black Arrows makes this much more effective for the side of Bork's side of the moon than it, for Cloud & Mines than it does for Bork's side of the moon. And they take the keep. They're out. Right, I'm just going to pull up some stats and we can have a quick look at those together while we're waiting for the next kind of phase. Right, objective is that's a camp found. We see they're posturing around the objective. And now we're going to see a fight coming out as I'm going to close this, and we do see we see May Icewall coming out, double stun coming out onto the Silver Spy. Silver Spy I thought was going to live thanks to the Gust, but however that will be them going down thanks to last rights, and that'll actually be a 3-for-1 now, as that sure they found Malfail, but in their process they lost Hogger and Varian and the Tyrande. So 3-for-1, so much like how last time the not Infernal Shrines, on Battlefield of Eternity, yeah, it was Bork's side of the Moon getting 1-for-1s or even 2-for-1s every time that one of theirs went down. This time, it's Cloud & Mines getting those better than even trades. And meanwhile, Falstad is going to get run at. Nice blind, good ice block, and that pushes him back in. That's an excellent combo from Star Knight, and that'll be a very dead Falstad. That poor Griffin. And we can now see that we'll be going down and getting a good old slap on the court. That is now at 73%. It looks like, in theory, that the side of Cloud & Mines can end, but the fight going past it, we see Hog going down, but May goes down in return, and suddenly this is not so... It looks like the side of Cloud & Mines isn't so confident with pushing in. You can see Ruffian's doing their best to get some poke onto it, but no, it's going to be a Cloud & Mines need to pull out. Oh, but in saying that, Malfail is back. They have a number advantage again. Kian just goes in, head first. Stun finding them, Riptide finding them, but however, Core will go down before they can die, and that is the second map of the series, going over to the side of Cloud & Mines. GG's. Whomstiv is messaging moi. Oh, right, that's fun to know. Right, I got very distracted. That's just saw something terrifying, to put it lightly. Right, let's jump over to the summary screen. As we can see here, Cloud of Mines did take the second map this time, 12-3, so a bit more of a kill disparity between the two than the first map, but this time in favor of Cloud of Mines. In terms of Siege, Junkrat and Malfowl very close, with Malfowl actually getting the soak in favor of Junkrat, but that's because there was a little bit more sharing of roles, as Falstad did pick up the other bit. Oh, I should say actually, Hogger picked up the Siege. It was a bit more spread across from the side of Bork side of movement. It was Cloud of Mines, but Cloud of Mines did end up having the level advantage v n, so they were ahead in that regard. Other than that, we have hero damage very even actually as well. Junkrat has the most, barely followed up by Sylvanas, and then healing, it was actually Anduin ahead of Tyrande this time, but typically you see a little bit more healing coming out from Anduin than Tyrande in general. Let's have a look at talents and see if anything stands out. No, trap build makes sense. Not really that many stacks on Tyrande's E, but it definitely did feel a bit the flow of the game was almost a bit too quick for Varian to get their taunt combo off, and it was a little bit split in that regard. Otherwise, everything kind of makes sense. So I'm just going to type some things out. Yeah, like nothing to really look too much fear about. So let's go back to our map view screen and get the next map loaded up, I guess. Alright, switch that over. Quit this replay. And we can have a look at what comes next. What do we think it is? Is it Infernal Shrines? Am I going to lose my mind? Fingers crossed it's a no. But we'll see. Oh, it's not! The gods smile upon me. As we have instead Tomb of the Spider Queen, which, considering how both teams have played Battlefield Turning Garden Terror, I think this may be the most even map of them all. That's just my general kind of idea about what's going to happen, just because of how each team played the last one. Two lane was an advantage of Books and Moon, while the 3 lane was an advantage of Cloud of Mines. This is a small 3 lane map, so it could go either way, but let's have a look at the... Let's have a look at the map, I guess. Let's get into the game. So, for Bork side of the Moon, we have Matlock on Joanna. Ikari is on Hanzo. Silver Spy is on Stukov. Bacon is on Sylvanas. And Tin is on Imperius, who's just going to go mid to slow them down while they do cheese. On the other hand side, we have Star Knight on Varian, which I imagine is going to be Taunt. Trelena is on the Pew Pew Shooty Man. Raynor, they can now see that they're top. Peach on Anduin. Ruffian is on Jaina. That tower is nearly fully down. Mellock, however, is holding it a bit too long for it, probably. And one thing I haven't noted is Kian is on Malfowl again. Oh, cool. We got 2 Council of Anguirus members this game. Mellock is actually getting peppered down by Trelena. Trelena actually stepping forward quite a bit. They aren't Gambit. That's been probably things to note about Ace and the whole Spec. So, other stacking quests to note. We have W Quest on the Hanzo. We have Fingers of Frost Jaina, and she does have a baseline Frostbite, as well as Varian is actually aligned more at level 1, so going for the extra slow and a little bit of extra burst damage, as opposed to the parry that you typically see at level, overpower that you can often see at level 1 for Taunt. We're getting very tight rotations from the side of, very aggressive rotation from the side of Cloud of Mines, but I guess they know they don't need to do anything else because, well, Star Knight does not have Taunt yet. Varian does take a while to turn on properly. So he's got a wee ways to go before he can before he's in like immediate oh shit danger. Speaking of immediate oh shit, we do actually have Hanzo going down there, as even the slow and brute from Varian and Varian and Anduin Lone's father and son combo can still get a kill just like that. Right, and we're just getting once again we're just getting back on rotations. Speaking of which, we actually feel oh Joe's dead. Again, we don't even have Taunt yet, and that's 2 kills already picked up for the side of Clouded Mines. Not quite what you want to see, and there's Taunt now. Each time that's happened, I look down just because people need to stop messaging me. I'm turning my phone over. If anyone messages me on my phone, that's just unfortunate for them for the next little bit. And we do see that's 2 quick kills coming through to the side of Clouded Mines, and they are able to now start swinging momentum. They're actually ahead of Gem. They're ahead on Gems. They're ahead by a good 15 or so. Level 4s are only just through now for Bork side of Moon, so we do have a little bit of advantage over for Clouded Mines. But not too much where they're just going to absolutely run away with it. But they are at least doing their healing, their siege camp. But Star Knight will go down. The healer, unfortunately, with the Jaina doing that Bruiser camp. Single which, Bruiser camp is coming out now. Oh, I do like Sylvanas is doing Bruiser camp, bottom siege camp. This is probably pretty important as they are really a little bit lacking currently in kind of that extra macro pressure and siege pressure. So the siege camp will definitely help out. And this Bruiser camp will take a little bit for both Silver Spy and Matlock to take down until that mid one goes down. And Trelena is just going to chase them going, go on, get out of here. My camp. It starts shooting them aggressively, and we're going to Jimmy Rain away. Bottom siege camp was indeed taken by the side of... Oh, Ikari is not going to get taunted. It wasn't cooldown, but no taunt. Ruffian decides they need to go a little bit more passive with their positioning. And meanwhile, Kian is trying their best to make sure both camp and wave can be hit, but just how it's split, they're not able to do very well at it. We do see Tin is chasing them into the back line. And oh, it's Tin on the off lane. Huh. It only just dawned on me now. I think I've only ever seen Tin play Nazebo this series, but I think I can guess now what was banned out this map. Heaven forbid I actually go looking into it. It's probably a very dead Joanna. As we can see, Taunt came out, root follow up, dead Joanna, and we can kind of see much like the first map where it was Taunt, Stuke of Silence. This time we have Taunt and win root. So either way, it's someone not able to escape. Level 7's are through both teams, but it is the first Web Weaver phase going over to the side of Clouded Mines, which, nice. Right, and now we're going to have things start slapping together as, well, Clouded Mines are going to start getting that early pressure. We see Trelena, a little bit awkward situation getting hit. Starlight goes for a charge onto Silver Spy, doesn't quite taunt them, however, did have it up, but didn't want to go fully in, as they were starting to fort dive. Emo. Varian's probably one of the better ones to get that deep under and just kind of parry away the damage. Bacon almost was going to fall prey to a Varian taunt just with their positioning, but no, will not quite happen. We hear Desperate Prayer being used by Anduin as their level 7. We can see that this is the side of Clouded Mines is slowly poking this down. They're not quite able to get the pressure they want from it yet, but they are definitely just trying their best to push in. And actually Imperius goes down bottom to Malvale. The Archangel Wisdom a little bit better than the Archangel Valor it's turning out to be. We see Malloc is out of position. Star Knight, again, not quite taunting. I don't know why, they do have pretty good blow up for tanks. Between Jaina alone is a very good blow up character. If you just kind of roll your face on the keyboard, someone will probably die. We can see that mid fort goes down. And it looks like that we're going to start rotating top to get top as well. As we are just about, as Clouded Mines are just about 10s. Yeah. I imagine we're going to see a taunt coming out soon. Starlight gets speared, we see taunt coming out, we see Paul coming out, and Starlight gets the lift. Trelena getting a little bit of poison, a little bit of damage on them. Starlight, however, is going to be the lowest out of exchange as most. And yeah, but everyone gets to live despite there being a little bit of an awkward situation, a little bit awkward positioning from Clouded Mines. So, Bork side of the moon has Turnin. Cloud of Mines isn't quite there yet. They're going to be a little bit off. Matlock is actually going to be ran down a little bit. Meanwhile, Silver Spy and Bacon are doing camp. And 10 is getting top, but does back out to safety. Which Star Knight really need to be one to kind of lead the charge there in terms of trying to get that locked down. But no, not quite finding its mark, and it will be a safe Imperious. And we do actually see heroics for both sides. So for the side of Cloud of Mines, because they sound it first, we have summoned Water Elemental from Jaina. We have a very in danger. Oh, that's mind control, and that is 27 gems down. That's a little bit too much if you're Cloud of Mines, and that is a massive setback, and definitely helps the side of Bork, side of Moon get back in this game, and they can get those blue web weavers out now. Other things to know is, into a light bomb, we have Hyperion, Raynor, Last Rites, Malthael, and Taunt at level 4. Then we have Flailing Swipe, Stukov, Mind Control, Sylvanas, Dragon Arrow on the Hanzo. We have Star Knight going in on 10. Taunt cancels the Wrath of Anguirus, and that will actually be 10 going down, and just like that. And the last thing to note is Blessed Shield from Joanna. Blessed Field. She's just sitting in a field by a church. It's a wonderful time. Blessed Field. Yep, and now we can see the push is going to start happening bottom. Kian knows they can't quite hold that gate on their own, but all in all, if you lose bottom key of force is not the end of the world. It's probably one of the better lanes to lose on this map, in all honesty. Silver Spy does get taunted on until we see Lightman coming out of them. That Flailing Swipe means they are pushed away, and Silver Spy actually doesn't get hit by that Light Bomb. Silver Spy, however, will get hit by Last Rites and goes down. Matlock will be not too long to follow. Akari uses Jump. Bacon uses Haunting Wave. And that will be both damage dealers on the side of Bork, side of Moon getting out. Right. Nice taunt catching Imperious before he can end the spear. Wrath of Anguirus, however, finds Malthael. Malthael going to be stuck between a rock and a hard place. Pull comes out from Anduin, but not able to quite find the pull in time. Well, I don't think the pull was ever going to be in time there, because that was a very dead Imperious basically on arrival. And just a few shots from full and keep respectively took them down. Who is pinging me? Nope, not looking at that. Cast. Focus on cast. Right, and we do see now Matlock is going to try to stall out the side of Cloud of Mines. Actually, Star Knight manages to turn in and not get interrupted. And they're now going to try to zone out the side of Bork, side of the Moon, and manage to do so. And that is the second web we've faced of the game going over to the side of Cloud of Mines. And yeah, so we're now basically even trading with 1 for 1. 1 Cloud of Mines, 1 Bork, side of Moon, 1 Cloud of Mine, another Cloud of Mines, so alternating custody of the web weavers. We see Blessed Shield coming up from Matlock, and that is going to be a lot of damage to come out. Dragon Arrow doesn't actually find its mark. Trelena and Ruffin having to back out. Kiana gets a nice light bomb onto Silver Side. Silver Spike getting relatively low. Mets once again, they go down to Last Rites. Tin's also getting relatively low. Matlock also. Ruffian had to back out quite far. We do see Kiana doing the best to take out 10. 10 goes down. Bacon is able to get out with 25 gems. Did pick up a little bit from 10 as they went down. Matlock does use tap to kind of restore their health. And we're going to now see a decent push top, and, well, actually mainly mid and a little bit top. Meanwhile, bot may not get too much stuff. And that is quest complete from Varian. They do complete that Lions more. Nice. We're getting a 2-level disparity between the two teams now. Cloud of Mines is ahead of Bork, side of the Moon. So nicely done. We can see that Webweaver's going down, took out half of mid. Looking at top, second out the gate. But I imagine we're going to see the side of Bork, side of Moon go, not Bork, side of Moon. Cloud of Mines go bottom, as they're probably just want to take bottom. Which may as well. I can see Stukov just briefly appear in the corner of the screen again. No, I don't want to actually. Let's just go out. Let's just leave. Now we see Star Knight and Matlock both holding bushes to make sure neither of the opposition team flanks. But it is now, Cloud of Mines is closer to their next objective. Oh, Cloud of Mines is actually further away from the objective, sorry. Bork, side of Moon's closer to the next objective, as they only need 55. They're 5 off. And then, well, Cloud of Mines is a good number, 34 gems off getting there. But they do have 16s. That is actually a relatively big advantage, as we do see things such as Numbing Blast picked up with that root, and Raynor has gone that full auto attack build. I never know about Rallying Cry. I never know about Rallying Cry because I like the percent damage reset one, but I also usually go Q build. But hey, I like, if it works out for Trillian, it obviously works out. As we do see that there's a lot of damage coming out onto Matlock, as Matlock is being chased down by the side of Cloud of Mines, but Cloud of Mines will not quite find the kill that time. Thing to note, boss is up and Handon is now available for Bork side of the moon. So, we've got 2 lines of play here. Well, actually multiple lines of play, but 3 like major lines of play. Either Cloud of Mines keep an eye on Handons, and Bork side of moon take boss. Cloud of Mines do boss, and Bork side of moon do Handon. Or there's just going to be a big old fight. And the viewer gets to win. And we can see, actually, the side of Cloud of Mines is actually being very careful not to die with too many gems on them. They're getting rid of their gems pretty frequently. And that means it's just they can take these big fights without having any kind of major concerns. Because usually if it is a massive fight, it can give you a rather large setback. And meanwhile, we do see Bork side of the moon is preparing to pop off. And we actually do see that was a decent combo already coming out onto Varian, as Varian has not been able to do anything for the last few seconds. We can just see they get talking about Anduin does actually get pulled out onto Starlight. Varian's saved by their own son. Actually, that'll be Tin going now first, then followed up by Malfell. Mallock barely holding on. No, that last rights will eventually may not have found the kill, but definitely put him in a position to find the kill. Meanwhile, Bacon's being slowed down on Water Elemental. That'll be them going down. Silver Spy is now does get cancelled out of their swipes for the last one go off, and that is 43 gems lost by the side of Bork side of the moon. So what once was a hand in now is nowhere near, and actually in favour of Cloud of Mines once again. Well, Cloud of Mines should be the next one to the hand in, I should say, rather. Oh, that's why my phone's blowing up. This all makes sense now. There's a super volcano in my country that's looking really active. That's a problem! Huh. Concerning. Fun, but concerning. Right, we're getting just very safe clearing from both teams now. It looks like Cloud of Mines just wanting gems and then maybe to get closest to them. They're not quite there. They're going to be a few shy. Yep, 7 shy. But they're not wanting to dive them, and it looks like that both sides just want to try to get as quick to 20 as possible. Oh, Imperius is looking to be in danger. Tin is running downwards. They knew maybe what was coming. Yep, and they may now well know that they're between a rock and a hard place. Tin has been scouted. Does unfortunately, it's weird to say unfortunately, they do unfortunately find a spear on Trelena, and because of that spear, well, Anduin has been hit by a wayward dragon arrow. Ouch. I wouldn't like being hit in the face with an arrow either. We do see it is now actual hand-in for the side of Cloud of Mines, and that will be the second Web Weaver phase in a Web Weaver phase in a row for the side of Cloud of Mines. I do actually need to reply to this. And we can now see that both teams are posturing, getting ready for this next push. Don't think it'll be the final one by any means, but it will still do a decent amount. We see Web Weaver is going to be landing in top just now, and it looks like that Bork side of the moon is going to respond to them and just kind of start moving on up. And level 20s are now through for the side of Cloud of Mines, so this now gets a whole lot harder for Bork side of the moon. And that is that first keep going down of the game. And this mid one's actually not looking very healthy either. Tin's doing the best to clear it out, but it looks like this side of Cloud of Mines does want it gone. Because we do see last series, there was someone just walking in this area and happened to go down as they're taking shots from both. And there's a root coming out to Tin. There's Tin going down. A little bit too much damage for their liking. Mallock is trying their best to escape. Also will go down. Last Right's put on them, but not the Last Rights did not get the kill. The kill just came out because of pure damage that was coming out from Cloud of Mines. And this will now be diving onto this keep here, and it'll be slowly going down. And this will be likely, unless something goes drastically wrong, the game and the series going over to the side of Bork Side of the Moon. GG's from both sides. Well played. Well played. Right. Let's have a look at the game summary screen. Right. In terms of talents, nothing stands out in particular here. Everything's kind of straightforward. I like the full auto attack build on Raynor. It's not something I can see too often. But hey, it's up and good. And actually, now the more I think about that 16, the more it makes sense. Because it does proc for level 7 and 4 more often. Meanwhile, Sylvanas 50% damage build makes sense. There's a few healthy characters there. In saying that, I wouldn't say Malthael is exactly the biggest health pool of all the bruisers. He has a lot of stuff sustained from his healing. And Variant, well, yes, has a very large health pool, can deflect, parry the arrows. Akari, yeah, I was going to say 16 Akari, yep, scatter, makes sense. You want piercing, so yeah, everything makes sense. But let's have a look at stats. Once again, we were in the favour of Cloud of Minds, a little bit more in favour of him this time, which I thought was going to be a close map, turned out to be in favour of Bork Side of the Moon. Not Bork Side of the Moon, turned out to be in favour of Cloud of Minds, so well played by them. Healing, Peach and Silver Spy very close to each other, just 2k off. Damage, Raynor and Hanzo very close, just 1k off. Siege, actually it was Jaina and Sylvanas, which I guess you're double rotating, so it makes more sense. Those two are probably the better ones for it. So that is all in all a good series. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go to my map view screen, and I'm going to call it there for a little bit, just because I do need a bit of a break, because I do need to answer a few things, unfortunate as it is. I know, I want to cast more, but my arm is hurting a bit more and more, and I need to take just a quick break. So we did have Cloud of Minds take it over Bork Side of the Moon in a reverse sweep. Bork Side of the Moon had a very commanding start on Battlefield of Eternity, but then Cloud of Minds came back with their fires lit, fires stoked. They managed to get the... What is that map called? They took Garden of Terror in a very convincing fashion, and then also that final map of Tomb of the Spider Queen. Also very convincing for them as well. Right, that has been me for now. That's me for Line Butts for now. To everyone who joined, I wish you a good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending where you are in the world, because time zones are weird. And thank you, but I'll see you all in the Nexus. Goodbye. Well, at least for now.